Good morning, everyone. Just a quick video. Sorry, I haven't been online, but yeah, it should kick off soon. So, why clear mind? So, I just want to touch on a few, maybe three subjects quickly. Just with my ADHD, it wasn't diagnosed, but I self-diagnosed with Dr. Google. But just seen a lot of just Google a lot of symptoms, and always had it. Um, just going through primary school, um, or always went to the office, got the cane from probably grade 6 to grade 12. So just that focus in class. ADHD is more about the, the mind. Um, the focus of the mind is just hard to even focus on one thing just for a few minutes. Um, I'm guilty always of going in the room, um, going to get something, but then I get there and what did I come in for? So the small things. Yeah, so I wasn't great. My grades were really bad, so it's that was the ADHD, and I didn't excel in maths and English and all that, but sports and music, they were the two things that kept me going. What I excelled in, yeah. So I'm grateful for that, but having having not having focus for a while can really put a damper on your sort of emotions, and like yourself just looking back at yourself, like, why am I a loser? Why I'm not married, why have I got a house, and all those sort of things. It sort of lingers, and you see a lot of single people walking by themselves. That's the mind. It's the mind, and with addictions, the addictions are there to suppress it, just to forget for a day, and just to heighten themselves, just to make them feel good, and then they go back to normal. Um, just with the depressive state. Um, Another thing too, the anxiety that comes with it. It's it's really really crippling. It cripples you to have ADHD and anxiety. Um, you always have the fear of just fear of. Well, I have a fear of spider. I have a fear of heights. I have a fear of driving a car in traffic. I can drive a car, you know, not in a congested space like down south, but I can drive a car on an island. Um, yeah, so but with the addictions, the alcohol addictions, you always go back and, like, you always look back at yourself and you drink, because you're useless. Um, you're useless. You got no self love. It's always that the struggle of actually trying to have a future. And but now that I know, I'm more I understand more about myself, and the expectations I don't put on myself anymore, because I'm not going to try and be someone that I'm not, because my ADHD won't allow it. Um, did medication, tried medication. I got off it, um, just because of fear of, I'm always thinking about the side effects. Because when you're taking 7 tablets, um, I stopped taking them, because every tablet has a my ADHD mind just thought about that truck or that car. Um, every medication has a side effect. So if you're taking 7, so I stopped taking it. But I'm gonna get back on it, because I don't know. I'm just gonna weigh it up if I need it or not. Yeah, with ADHD comes reckless spending. You can't save, but if you have an addiction, but uh, a gambling addiction on top of that, it's terrible. You have no money and you end up in a dark place. You end up going depression. You end up going in depression. And it's hard to get out unless you find a way. But yeah, with the alcohol and the people smoke drugs, dope, or take other substances. It's just to suppress or to steady their moods, and then you come crashing down, and it's even worse. But yeah, it's just that cycle. But yeah, with having no 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 grasp on money, it's really hard. Um, but yeah, with the anxiety, a lot of fear, heights, spiders. Um, yeah, I used to have these dreams before I understood myself. With my anxiety, I used to have these bad dreams. I had three in particular. One where I was trapped in a coffin. Two, I was trapped under ice. And three, I was trapped under a bridge by twigs. So it's always that entrapment. So I'm sort of trapped in my body. That's how you feel when you have ADHD, anxiety. You're trapped in your body, and yeah, it's not a nice place. But if we were to swap for one day, oh man, that'd be magic. I could steal your teeth, jokes. But yeah, just and another thing, PTSD. With the childhood trauma, getting cane at school and getting a worse a worse disciplinary at home. Um, yeah, I used to self-inflict because I couldn't. I just when I did get hit or did get the cane, I just didn't understand why, and so I used to self-inflict in a mirror. I'd cuss myself, and then I started hitting my head, and I started hitting my head, and then I'd go to school with bruises on my head and a couple of bruises on my skin because it's just ADHD back in them days. It was sort of like you're hypo kid, but it's just a mind. It's a mind and your emotions. So I'm sort of going quickly through this because last time I did a video, I just stopped 5 minutes. So um, yeah, with PTSD, so it's all that remembering all that trauma and stuff. I remember, you know, um, listening to old songs of the 80s and the 70s, especially Toto, um, Africa. Yeah, as soon as the intro come in, it takes me back, straight back to when I was a childhood and the emotions that come with it. It's makes you sad, but these are the things I deal with. But now it's no longer there's no longer a connection there because um, I sort of got the help. Well, I read the help because I had to learn this myself. So I I I I, I I'm no longer attached to that song emotionally, and I listen to it now because it's no longer attached to those the trauma as growing up. But yeah, it's and mate suicide, and I was a young police officer, only 27 years old at the time, and my mate suicided. So that was a very very anything that hung up. It just took me a while, but yeah, it's not a nice place. So the thing is with my program is to is more or less to control over your thoughts, your emotions, your attachments, the things you keep, like old memories, and expectations. The expectation is a big one because people expect you to be someone, but if you have ADHD and anxiety, it's tough. It's really hard. Um, but yeah, it's and the last one is actions, how you react and how you react to things, and so it's just a process of controlling your thoughts. So now that I have my business, yeah, it's just I just wanted to let people know, or just to teach people, especially community mob. Um, you know, there's a lot of brothers and sisters in jail who don't know they have these things. So my work is to educate and to help, you know, to help educate, and to maybe they can go back and observe themselves, and why why they're at the place they're in, and even day to day people, you know. You, you have a lot of family members who have ADHD and anxiety, but they just they just need to know how to acknowledge it, and then live with it, and control their those five things I mentioned. But anyway, I'm happy that you guys are here, my subscribers, and yeah, just share it, um, share the video, um, yeah, so it helps other people understand themselves. Thank you.